Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how I normally fill in my eyebrows, and I'm going to be showing you how I do it with two different products. So if you like this video, don't forget to comment, like it, and definitely subscribe. Now let's get right into it. Okay, so as you can see, I'm rubbing on my eyebrows just to show you that I don't have any product on them so that we can start fresh. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Anastacia Beverly Hills Dipbrow Pomade, and this is in the shade dark brown. Now you can also use any different type of pomade if you like, but this is the one I like, so I always use this one. And then taking my NYX eyebrow pencil, also in the shade dark brown, I am going to do one of the eyebrows. Now before you start doing anything, I like to go ahead and use a spoolie, and this spoolie is by Artistry, and I just like to go ahead and comb my brows upward so that I can really get a precise line right under my eyebrow. Alright, so like I said at the beginning, I will be showing you how I do my eyebrows with two different products, and the first one I'm going to be starting with is the Dipbrow Pomade. You can find dupes for the Anastacia if you don't have the Anastacia Beverly Hills one. Now, taking an angled brush, I'm going to dip it in the pomade, and then using the top, I'm going to take off a little bit of product because I don't want it to be too dark. I want it to look a little dark, if you know what I mean. And then because I combed my eyebrows upward, it allows me to see the bottom of my lashes, my eyebrow. Now I start working in small strokes, and keep in mind that you must work very carefully. Well, maybe not carefully. You must work very light-handed, because if you do press too hard on the brush, you can go too dark, especially with the pomades. So I went ahead and did the bottom, and as you can see now I'm doing the top. And with the top, you can either make it thicker if you like, but I don't like the thick eyebrow, so what I like to do is just right where my eyebrows are, I like to go just right over it, kind of like emphasizing that there's a line there. And then taking whatever product is on my brush, I like to start filling it in, because I know it does get darker the more product you put on it, so I don't go in for a second dip in my pomade. Now I go ahead and I start filling in my eyebrows according to the way my eyebrows are growing, and as I will be leaving the front untouched because I don't want it to be all dark. I like the gradient effect, so I will be blending it out with a spoolie, carefully making sure that I don't get too much product in the front portion of the eyebrow. Now for the front portion, I like to just make little hairs or imitate the hairs that I have right in front. So I don't, like I said, I don't go for a second dip. I just use whatever is left, and then I make sure that everything looks good, and then just make sure that I have everything filled in. There's no gaps, there's no spots that I didn't fill in. So you just work it, take your time, spend a little time with those eyebrows. Now to fix any mistakes, and keep in mind you can make mistakes, it doesn't matter, I'm just going to conceal them up with my Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade medium, and I'm just going to put a little dot on the back of my hand. Now taking a smaller concealer brush, I'm going to start concealing up the bottom part of my eyebrows. I don't do this to the top because you will see what I did to the top. I just start working it on the bottom part of my eyebrow, just making sure that that line is very sharp, very clean, very neat. Now for the top part, you can leave it like this if you like, but for the top I like to take my foundation, and this is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in natural beige. Like I said at the beginning with the concealer, just put a little dot, literally a dot, on the back of my hand, and then again with a small concealer brush I'm going to start carving out the top, and this just helps really shape your eyebrows. The reason why I'm using a foundation instead of a concealer is because a concealer is normally lighter than your foundation, and my concealers are always lighter than my foundation, which will make my eyebrows stand out but will look really different when it comes to adding the rest of my foundation. So this just helps it blend in and look as if it literally came out very sharp. Always remember to blend it out so that once you add your foundation, it blends seamlessly with your foundation. Moving on to the next eyebrow. Like always, start combing your eyebrow upward. I do it upward. You can do it whichever way you want. Definitely just make sure you comb your eyebrows with a spoolie, whatever spoolie you have. It doesn't matter, honestly. And for this, I'm going to be using my NYX eyebrow pencil. This is in the shade dark brown. I'm going to start like my other eyebrow. I'm going to start right at the bottom. I'm going to make sure I get as close as possible to the eyebrow line that I have. I recently did my eyebrows, so it definitely helped me get that nice clean line. Now, as you can see, the tip of this eyebrow pencil is a little hard to work with. If it's an angled one, if it's a pointy one, it will make your life 10 times easier as opposed to if it's like this, which is a round tip, which makes it a little harder to work with, I have to admit. Now this is supposed to be a dark brown, but I'm sorry, NYX, it is not. This is more like a light brown, and you can definitely tell the difference between my eyebrows comparing it to my Anastacia Beverly Hills Dipbrow pomade. But besides from that point, let's keep going back to the tutorial. So I already did the bottom. Now working on the top, I like to go literally right on where my eyebrow line is. And I don't, like the first one, I don't do the very front because I start working with it right after I finish blending the rest out. Now I do have a little bald spot on the end of this eyebrow, so I like to put a little more product on it. And just like the brush, you have to keep in mind you can't press too hard because you will go too dark. it is very easy to go dark, and it does happen. It does take some time for you to really get a perfect shape, a perfect color. And if you mess up again, don't worry, it's okay, it's not the end of the world. You can just We would just go back in with some concealer and fix it up. Now blend it out, make sure that all those areas are covered, and then going back in with my eyebrow pencil, I like to make little hairs going upward at the beginning of my eyebrow. Now, repeating the same exact steps that we did previously, we are going to take that concealer brush and that concealer, and we are going to start carving out and fixing and covering up any mistakes that we have made. As you can see, I did make some mistakes on this eyebrow because of the type of tip that the eyebrow pencil had. So nothing to worry about, concealer fixes it. So I'm just going to make sure that that line is very precise, very well blended, and as you can see, you can't even tell you are wearing concealer, which I love. So moving on to the top of the eyebrow, taking exactly the same foundation, I'm going to start carving out the top. If you made it too thick, you can just go ahead and fix it, make the ends very sharp, blend it out so that it can look like nothing ever touched it. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup, and I will be right back with you. So now that the makeup is all done, I went for something very simple, and this is the way my eyebrows look. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, don't forget to like it and also subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye. Mwah.